backfield. Can they do it again? Yes, they can!
And the catch is made by Taj Washington. Touchdown, USC.
Blocked by Embiid! Timmy, yes!
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Beef Upfront podcast here on Pick Swap Media. This is your host, Ryan Coyle, back with another episode as part of our prospect profile series as we lead up to the NBA draft. Have already done Victor Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson. We've also done Derek Lively and Dariq Whitehead. Today we'll be getting into Jarace Walker, the 6'8", 240-pound freshman out of Houston, 7'2" wingspan, only 19 years old. Had a really good year in his lone year at Houston, playing for one of the best programs in the country. Averaged 27.6 minutes per game. So he was a guy that he played a lot from the jump, and he really fit that Houston culture. This is a really tough-nosed dude out there. Shot 46% from the field, 34% from three at 6'8". His shot is certainly still a work in progress. 66% from the line, so not the greatest translation there between free throws and three-pointer for the indication of potential improvement, but with everything he does on the floor, if he can be like a 36%, 37% shooter, he's going to stick in the league for a while. Average 6.8 rebounds per game, 1.8 assists, 1.3 blocks, a steal, and 11.2 points per game. So he's not a big-time scorer, like look in the stuff, the stat sheet in the box score in the points department, but he is going to impact the game in a variety of ways and make a big impact doing so. Just a really physically imposing player at 6'8", 240 with that 7'2" wingspan. I had the opportunity to see him play in person in Philadelphia versus Temple. And it's just like, even from up top, like you're just like, wow, this dude is huge. Watching him on film, he just eats up space. Just has an NBA-ready body to go from day one on both ends of the floor, I think. I don't really know how high his eventual ceiling is. He's not the most gifted overall like athlete in terms of shake and wiggle and whatnot, in terms of how good he can be as an offensive player, but his floor might be one of the highest in the draft in my eyes. And there's no doubt in my mind, if he is able to shoot 35, 36% and above and make his open looks with everything else he's able to do on the court, he should be able to stick for a while. In terms of his strengths, as I was saying, just an imposing force on the floor, eats up a lot of space. I would almost like to see him play tight end in the NFL. That's how like big and gifted he is. I think he would have like a Hall of Fame level career doing that. Great instincts though on the defensive end of the floor. That's really what sticks out the most to me in terms of Jarace Walker's game. And he will be an NBA ready defender from day one, can guard multiple spots. We hear that thrown around from time and time again now, that he can guard 1 through 5, but this is a guy that truly can, I think, guard multiple positions because he has the weight and the wingspan if he does get matched up onto a center to stick with him, I think. And if teams are going to play more and more small ball these days, he could be like a small ball type 5 in certain situations. I think can be like that center in your closing type lineup, and you surround him with, you know, your ball dominant guard and as well as some shooters. Like I said, can guard multiple spots, and it can really bother shooters on closeouts with that 7'2" length. If he's on the block, he's able to get out to like corner threes in a hurry and get a hand up and rattle shooters. And he can really protect the rim both when he's guarding the ball and as an off-ball weak side defender. He's able to, you know, read those plays from the backside and come over and block shots. Or if he's guarding a guard and they're looking to attack the basket, he's able to really defend the rim in that way as well. Really good at beating defenders to the spot. That's what stuck out to me the most. And you don't really see that much from college guys, but when you play at Houston for Kelvin Sampson, you have to be able to defend or you won't get on the floor. And he's really good at beating guys to the spot without using his hands. He can stay in front of smaller guys as well. And he really rebounds the ball well too at 6'8". And he does it willingly. When you watch him, he's a guy that goes out there and attacks the glass and looks to fight for rebounds each and every possession. He's just not waiting for the ball to come to him. On the offensive end of the floor, a really good passer, really good vision. He makes like several plays where he's catching at the high post and he's just doing those simple touch passes. He's able to make snap passes to the corner, cross court. Just showed the ability to make multiple passes, multiple different fashions. And he can grab the ball off the glass and go and attack from there, and is able to make some plays in transition. He's that ideal, like, as I was saying, small ball 5 potentially. ideal point forward type, a high IQ player, can push the ball on the break, as I was saying, and he has a really nice soft touch. Like you saw, if you watch his highlights or his film, you see him score in that low to like mid post area a lot, and it's a lot of floaters, a lot of soft touches. I would like to maybe see him use his body and that frame a little bit more on the offensive end, but I think just defensively, he's going to be awesome from day one, and he's a really good passer as well. As his offensive game continues to evolve, but he does show some nice touch around the rim. I will be interested to track his 3-point shooting though. Made one a game on 2.8 attempts, so not exactly high volume, but shot 34.7%. So you round that up to 35. If he's able to do that, maybe get up to like 36, 37, as I was saying, he's going to be a guy that's six in the league for a while. Weaknesses, kind of just a question mark on the offensive floor still. Like, what really is he? He's not as good where he's like a Jokic where he is like this big guy and you're able to initiate offense through him. He's obviously not that talented as like the MVP, former MVP, probably soon to be finals MVP is, but you see flashes though where what his role could be in the NBA as just this point forward type guy. But I think he's also another player that will be like content with his role. Like, no, all right, I'm here to play lockdown defense on some of these forwards. I'm able to grab and go. I'm able to just rebound the ball at a high clip, play with a hard, high paced motor. He knows his role, I think, and that's going to be really good. He's not going to try and do too much. So what really is he on offense? You might just kind of throw that out the window with how good he can be on the defensive end of the floor and just as a distributor as well. But the 3-point shot, if he is able to get that number up to closer to 39, 40%, he could be a very dangerous player. As I was saying, only 2.8 attempts per game, so not the biggest volume. But is he going to be able to play sustainable offense and shoot it well enough to be a full-time player on the offensive end of the floor? That's his major question. I'm stuck trying to like give him a role in an ideal spot, but he does everything else super well. The offensive game in the half court is just certainly going to be a work in progress, but still only 19 years old, still has plenty of time to develop, and he brings NBA level skills with his defense, his rebounding, and he shows the flashes of passing as well in that NBA level body already, where I'd have no doubts that he can make an impact from day one out on the floor. Projection for him, be a top 10 pick. I don't see him slipping out of there. He's as high as like 5 in some mock drafts. And then my comparison for him, it was really hard because he's a unique guy that you don't really see much like him. Like when you think of really good defenders with mediocre kind of jump shot, forward body that's able to pass the ball, your mind usually goes to like Draymond Green. So I was trying to switch off from that. I kind of came up with a less athletic Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon, obviously very explosive, and he has shown the ability to step out and shoot the three as his career is going on. But I also threw in there with like pre-Hawks series Ben Simmons, but with more of a willingness to shoot just because he's got this huge, really good frame and he can play really good defense and he's a good passer and he can rebound the ball. But then we know Ben Simmons fell off. So like a less athletic Aaron Gordon to like a pre-Ben Simmons before everything in his career fell apart, but more of a willingness to shoot. It's an interesting player for sure, but an attractive one for sure as well. That I think he's going to make a team very happy. Let's just see how he evolves on offense. That's really going to be determining his ceiling at the next level. So that'll do it for Jarace Walker, the 6'8" freshman forward out of Houston. Make sure to stay tuned to the channel. We're going to be dropping a bunch more on some of these top prospects. We got Anthony Black, Jordan Hawkins, Grady Dick, Bryce Sensabaugh, and Jett Howard all in the works as well. So make sure to stay tuned, and we will talk soon.